Deep within China's rugged Funiu mountain range sits Baotianman, a location highly rated on travel platforms for its pristine, untouched scenery. Looking at a topographic map, we see its exact placement. It sits directly on the watershed dividing three major Chinese river systems, the Yangtze, the Yellow, and the Hua. That specific geographic positioning has fostered an incredibly rare ecosystem. It holds status as a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, maintaining a 99.8% forest coverage rate. For biologists, it serves as an active open-air laboratory. Researchers frequently refer to the area as a living natural species gene bank because of the sheer density of flora and fauna found at this specific latitude. Baotianman functions as a globally recognized scientific laboratory that also manages a public tourism mission. If you read the standard travel brochures, they pitch a straightforward one-day itinerary. They promise visitors a clean loop through picturesque waterfalls, thick forests, and dramatic mountain peaks. Academic field journals paint a very different picture. They describe a rugged transitional climate zone with steep elevation changes that make physical navigation exhausting and demanding. This creates a practical problem for anyone planning a trip. Does the ecological payoff actually justify the extreme logistical friction required to get there? To answer that, you have to weigh three specific trade-offs: the physical access to the site, the reality of the hiking itinerary, and the actual biodiversity you are able to observe. Your satisfaction with the trip will depend entirely on honestly assessing whether you are a casual sightseer looking to relax or a dedicated eco-tourist willing to work for the view. We map these factors on a trade-off matrix. Physical input, a 3-hour drive from Zhengzhou and a 13-kilometer mountain road to the gate. The positive outcome is total isolation, filtering out tourist crowds. The trade-off, excluding transit-reliant travelers, compounding fatigue before you start. The friction of access keeps the environment pristine, but it immediately disqualifies anyone seeking a low-effort vacation. Once inside, the marketed itinerary pushes visitors to tackle the Fossil Peak line and the Waterfall line in a single day. The physical reality of the Waterfall line involves navigating a steep, rocky stream path that drops nearly 500 meters in elevation. The Fossil Peak line is even harder. It demands a grueling 6-kilometer, 5-hour continuous climb over dangerous, uneven terrain. For those who push through, the visual reward is spectacular. Standing on Camel Peak at 1,760 meters offers wide-angle views of a rolling sea of clouds, but the steep physical cost forces a rushed, breathless pace. Hikers spend so much energy watching their footing, they miss the intricate micro-ecosystems thriving inches away. Focusing solely on bagging the peak actively prevents you from experiencing the unique biodiversity that actually makes Baotianman scientifically valuable. Instead, slow down to observe the forest floor. Here you find complex microbiodiversity, like the microscopic growth networks of myxomycetes, known as slime moulds. Baotianman operates as a primary field station for myxomycetes taxonomy. Decades of intensive research by scientists like Professor Li Yu built China's understanding of these organisms. The academic documentation of this specific area dates back decades. Early 20th century studies by pioneering professors Shuqun Deng and Zhonghuang Zhao laid the groundwork for cataloging the region's biological wealth. Since those early field expeditions, the number of documented slime mold species has exploded. Compilations like the Flora Fungorum Sinicorum now detail 299 distinct species, many sourced directly from these specific mountain surveys. Beyond the forest floor, the reserve has a secondary ecological draw up in the canopy, its highly unusual butterfly fauna. This split bar chart illustrates the unique climate overlap at work here. 58% of the recorded butterflies belong to the Oriental realm, existing in the exact same airspace as 9% Palearctic and Holarctic species. Witnessing this rare north-south faunal intersection is the true return on investment for visiting Baotianman. But you can only access it if you sacrifice the fast-paced peak bagging itinerary. We can map your travel profile using this flowchart. First, do you have an independent vehicle and high physical stamina? Second, are you prioritizing curated photo spots or raw microbiodiversity? For casual sightseers wanting a relaxed vacation, the 5-hour hikes will be severely frustrating. Deciding to pass on Baotianman does not mean you are skipping nature. It simply means you recognize a mismatch in your logistical appetite. Conversely, if you are a deep eco-tourist, fascinated by unique ecological overlaps and rare taxonomy, Baotianman is an absolute must-visit destination. To do it correctly, abandon the rushed one-day itinerary. Book an overnight stay inside the reserve so you have the time to balance the physical demands of the peaks with careful scientific observation. The reserve's identity is defined by its role as a living, breathing gene bank, where biodiversity takes precedence over visitor comfort. Baotianman offers a profound ecological reward, but it reserves that reward strictly for those willing to meet its uncompromising physical and logistical demands.